Ryan. Or that's better than one. Good.
Back of the hook, man. 3 more. Here you go. Stay up. Finish strong. Finish strong. You got 20 seconds.
Time to go down. Great round.
Chin down.
I can't see shit.
Two.
What's up, guys? This is Brian, the Hawaiian Punch from Viloria.
So I saw you training right now, Scrappy, and I know he's gonna have a fight coming up soon.
Yep.
What are the things that you were trying to take away during this fight?
Right now, we don't have a set opponent for him, so we're not really working on strategies. Some good work with a very capable, durable, and talented boxer himself with Adrian. Just wanting to get him a good work in.
What are the things that you're trying to emphasize with Scrappy?
Sitting down the shots, a lot with just establishing his jab. He's got great movement already. Right now we're just working on things that he needs to do. There's completely different aspects of the game, being a pro fighter and being an amateur fighter.
Right.
Given it that this is his first professional fight, he needs to get away from what the amateur system was and try to sit on his shots a lot more now, being able to pick and choose his shots. I feel like the amateur system, you throw a lot of shots, a lot of combinations, be busy. It's a 3-round fight, so you have to stay on top of the guy and be a little bit more aggressive. In the pro game, you gotta try to pick and choose a little bit more now. You got smaller gloves. There's a lot more movement. Everything's a lot more emphasized on power and speed. So he needs to learn how to sit down on his shots more, pick his shots, work the jab a little bit more, and try to establish himself from round to round.
No, I haven't talked to Scrappy yet, but one of the things I do notice is that he used to play football. You could tell, right, when he's boxing, like, there's similar traits to him playing football into the boxing. What does that go into your mind when you're seeing that in the ring?
There's he tries to. First of all, he's really athletic. He has the explosiveness, quickness, and sometimes he rushes things a little too much. So it's been a little bit of me trying to slow the pace down, slow his tempo down a little bit more, and to move with purpose rather than just to move, to throw with purpose rather than just try to throw flurry shots. A lot more now is to try to get him to set other shots up, not to have him just push too much on being aggressive. And just letting his hands go and trying to throw every shot with power. There's for me, trying to set him that way. He's, like I said, very athletic, and he's got natural athletic gifts, and try to make sure that I could transfer that into his boxing rather away from his football instincts, because that's what he was used to growing up.
So you have that, and then you have the fact that this is going to be his pro debut. How is that of a challenge when you have a different professional boxer like Chris Van Heeren, who's been in the game for a while, and you're trying to adapt him into this whole new regime, pro range? Like, how does that go into the coaching effect for you?
A lot of it, I've experienced being amateur fighter, having been in the Olympic team in 2000, and being able to change my style to become a pro fighter when I work with Freddie Roach, and I gained a lot of that experience and try to transfer that experience and that knowledge over to Scrappy, saying, hey, we're not fighting amateur anymore, we're fighting more, slow things down a little bit more, try to be more methodical rather than push yourself too much onto the scene and throwing a lot of shots. And so for me, I think the biggest challenge is to slow him down a lot more. He's so quick on his feet. He's so explosive that he wants to every move he wants to be explosive. Every move he wants to throw a knockout shot. And it's been a little bit of a challenge for me to slow him down just a tad bit more and be like, yo, listen, just be a little more methodical and just try to see if you can work off the jab. Try to set your shots up now, not having to power up on each shot.
When you go back to when you debuted your first fight, what are some of the things that you tell Scrappy, you know, this is what I did in my first fight, my emotions going up, leading to, like, what are the do's and don'ts leading up to your professional debut as a boxer?
It's to, for me, I've been in the amateur game for so long that it took a couple fights professionally to get that, to shake that cobweb off. To shake, not cobweb, shake that style off. So I know, because I've already affected it, I know it's not going to take one fight that's going to change his style entirely. It's going to take a series of fights, maybe 2 or 3 fights for him to shake that into, for him to understand, okay, it's not going to always be, who's more aggressive and who throws a lot of shots. Now it can be a little bit more methodical in the approach to each fight. And I have to try to minimize the amount of fights for him to learn that, by just having him to practice that in sparring, to having him to mentally understand that. And so he will go 3-4 fights as a pro and still have that amateur style.
And I noticed after the fight, the sparring, we were talking about how this is a marathon. What were some of the things you were trying to take away for him to understand the words you're trying to convey to him after the sparring session?
That there's gonna be mistakes made, a lot of mistakes made. To not get too hard on himself, because I know he's a perfectionist. He was kind of like me. He reminded me, and I also had to tell myself, every step doesn't have to be perfect. As long as you get there, as long as you're going in the right direction, and you know you're going in the right path, and you understand that there's gonna be hiccups, gonna be bumps in the road, and don't get too down on yourself because you hit those speed bumps. You know what I mean? To look at the long run. Like I said, it's a marathon. It's so long. You want to look good at the end of the end of whatever you're preparing for, not on the way. I want him to make all the mistakes now. Legit. I want him to bleed and cry and experience, all the downside of it here in the gym. That's make it make as much of it as you can, but try to perfect it along the way. Try to clean up with some of the things you need to clean up on.
And it's one of those things that when you're a professional fighter for a long time, that you can tell when a boxer has an off day, like right away. Like you get that impression when not just Scrappy, but I'm talking about like any other general boxer when you're training them, or any other person who's trying to get into boxing, like you can tell when they're not feeling it. Do you get that sense of energy?
Yeah, I see it because I work with them for a while now, and I know when
his habits.
They're very energetic, and I know when they're like down.
Yeah.
It's like anything else in relationships. Like, hey, he's not himself today. And before for Scooby, I know he sparred a few rounds yesterday. And that's why I told him, hey, if you want to, you don't have to spar.
I saw that.
But they've been asking him to spar. Just go 4 rounds and just call it a day.
Yeah, he told me that.
I told him just call it a day. Just go home and rest up, because he might be sparring again tomorrow, or you might have a hard workout. But just use today. You'd rather have them spar as close as you can get to fighting. Use that energy for that. But he said he felt it in his legs, and I said, hey, just take it there. Just go and slice it up. Go sit in a hot salt bath and see if you can recuperate that way. And you just work again tomorrow. Like I said, it's a grind from day in, day out. And sometimes it's not just hard work all the time. Sometimes you gotta do it smart.
I think that's one of the things about being an athlete. You don't know how to recover, right? So when you want to tell somebody, hey, take the day off, how do you try to tell somebody like to take the day off? Because they're always being mentally competitive within the mindset, oh, I'm not at the gym today. So what are one of the things that you did when you had your day off to try to convince somebody else to take the day off?
It's tough, especially when you work with athletes that's always wanting to work hard. They're workhorses. That's all they want to do. That's all they're bred to do. But sometimes you have to sit them down and say, hey, listen, we don't have a set date yet, so that's one thing. So continue to grind like this, it's just gonna be wear and tear for your body. So let's approach this smart. You know what I mean? Like for Scooby, he doesn't have a date set yet, and he's been working hard every single day. And so for me, just to take a little bit step back off the pedal will do good for him. So listen, rest is just as important as the hard work. If you don't let your body rest, you can't replace your legs with an extra leg, or your back with an extra. You're not a spare part. You're not a machine. Or places, things can be replaced.
I'm laughing because when I ran my second marathon, I felt the whole effects about not recovering from the first one.
Recovery sometimes can help you increase, the productivity. So sometimes when you feel rested, that's your body telling you, or you feel like you're struggling, that's your body telling you, rest up a little bit. So you did your hard work. You did great 4 rounds. You did, his speed bag and all that. Just go home, rest the rest of the day. You don't gotta keep continuing to work. Injuries start happening when you're doing yourself. And it's hard. It's hard to get these things to the fighters when they're bred and when they're raised that way. They keep going. It doesn't matter. Just keep going. It's great. Sometimes you gotta do this one. I'm all up for it, but when we have an end game. But if you don't have a fight in store, what's the use of grinding your body out every day?
Well, I appreciate that, Brian. Interesting conversation. I'll talk to you later on. Thank you so much. Take care.